Hello and welcome. My name's Steve Beckles-Ebusua, the speaker without the orange tie, guys. It's Christmas and I thought I'd relax down a little bit and bring on the kind of loud shirt. But guys, those that don't know anything about me, I'm a motivational speaker. I go to schools, colleges, universities and companies around the UK, Europe and in the States. What's this all about? Well, I've just been delivering a series of these since March, really, talking about helping people to help themselves, giving them tips and techniques. And it's been a while. I was working week 4 last and I had a project I had to do last week. So I haven't had a chance to do these. But this is, dare I say, the Christmas edition, and you can see you've got the tree, which is put together by my daughter. So I feel very blessed for my daughter going to work on this. I'm very appreciative of it. So what's this all about? Now, what I'm always aiming to do, I think, is really to help people to help themselves. And I've just had so much of a passion delivering these over, well, 8-9 months. And yeah, I'm continuing to do so. So hopefully they're always going to be useful and helpful tips in order to help you, to help other people. So guys, let's get this show on the road. If you were to see my strapline, it said as follows. It said, it's time to turn up the heat and iron out the wrinkles in your life. Now, I have this iron, yeah, as you can see here, and this iron really represents the challenges that often in our lives that we do need to get rid of. And I think in order to get rid of them, and it's quite ironic if you look at what an iron does, an iron's not effective when it's cold, yeah? So if I tried to iron a shirt with this, okay, in a cold state, it's not going to get the wrinkles out. Why? Because it hasn't got the heat. And I think it's a great metaphor for a lot of us that don't tend to act until it gets hot. Does that make sense? In other words, you get to the point of you having to do something. It's like Nido Cobain says that change only occurs when the pain of remaining the same becomes greater than the pain of change. And I think this is a great metaphor really for us realizing the heat's on. Quite literally. So what actions are you prepared to take as we come out of this year and get into 2021? And let's hope it is better, and let's hope there are going to be dreams that we can accomplish. However, it can only happen when you start setting those targets and your goals. And that's what this session is all about. I use the word iron. All right, got the whole iron here, yeah? So we've got I-R-O-N. And there's 4 tips that I'm going to give you to help you to kind of get out of those bad habits. I talk a lot about habits. I think it was Dr. Wayne Dyer said that habits rule the unreflecting herd. So in other words, habits are sitting there, and if you don't reflect on them, they do all the things without you actually realizing it. So trying to come out of that state is really important. So let's now take of those 4 steps using the word iron, using the word I. Okay, so that's the first letter for iron, I. And I is very, very straightforward, and it's something we all can do, is to invest in yourself. All right, invest in yourself. Now, this is thanks to Ken Barnes. Been doing a couple of bits with Ken. It's really good work with Ken. I've known Ken for so many years, and he was telling me he did some training as a therapist, behavioural therapist. And I thought, do you know what? I need to do that. So what I did, the minute I got home, I enrolled onto the course, and I'm on the course. So now the course is, I've got information came through this morning, and I'm ready to go. I'm also going to enroll onto another course. And the reason I'm doing this is obviously to add value to myself, but also just to get, I think, in my mind clear of the things I know. So I do a lot of reading, I do a lot of stuff, but it's always quite nice to put it into that form of a qualification. And it's not the be all and end all, but I think it really helps when you invest in yourself. I think it was Les Brown said that information costs, but it pays for itself. Now, when I go through these 4, iron, I-R-O-N, if you remember my previous talk, I spoke about the information I got, and it was from a guy called Dr. Wayne Dyer. This information is from a book by Jim Rohn, and it's called Success in Your Needs, I believe. I'm going to have to find the title somewhere. But absolutely brilliant book. He talks about actually 7 steps to success. Now here it is. I've got it here. Look, the seasons of life. There we go. Please Google that. The Seasons of Life, published in 1981. I was going through it last week. Absolutely brilliant. Seasons of Life. So that's where I've gleaned a lot of the information for this particular talk. Now, the reason I'm telling you this is that, yes, I've got a lot of knowledge and I've learned a lot, but I want you to take some of the people I've mentioned and go off and research them, Google them. So it's Jim Rohn, yeah, The Seasons of Life, okay? And I think it's series number 2, but it was published in 1981. Absolutely brilliant. And that's where I've got some of these ideas from. So first of all, I spoke about investing in yourself. Jim Rohn said, work harder on yourself than you do on your job. Say that again. Work harder on yourself than you do in your job. And I think he said your job will make you a living, but working on yourself will create the life you want, or something along those lines. So investing in yourself is so important. Yes, you've got your job, but invest more in yourself than in your job. That doesn't mean negate your job or neglect what you do at work. It means you have to invest in yourself, make yourself more valuable. Okay, which is so important. And it's so easy just to get stuck, isn't it? You're working at a job and you're doing what you're doing, etc. And you often say, well, I haven't got time for a course. Listen, you have time. A lot of these online courses, there's no real deadline for them to be completed. So one of the courses I've signed up for, it hasn't got a deadline. So I'm really excited about this course. But I know what I'm like. And I'm going to try and bang this course out, hopefully within the next 6 months. But it's one of these courses I know that if you get your head down, you can get the results. And that's what I'm going to do. So invest in yourself. Now, that was the mind. But what about the body? You know, exercising. I talk a lot about this, going for walks. I'm going to talk about this in a minute when I talk about setting goals. I've set a goal, a body weight goal, and I'll tell you about it later on, but I'm just under it now. So I'm really chuffed. Why? Because it's done in small chunks. Because I know in small chunks is when you get the results. So many times I think we go for this quick fix thing, it doesn't work, and then we lose hope. Okay? So the next one is R. All right? R is realize that you're the one in control. All right. Now, those who've got sons and daughters, I've got a lovely little daughter, Abigail, put this tree together. I've got two amazing sons, Tyrone and Shan. However, I can say they would hopefully listen to me when I ask them to do things, but I'm not in control of them. The only thing you're in control of is yourself. And I think it's really important when you understand that you can control you. It's really empowering. And often, again, another Jim Rohn quote, he said that when the wind is blowing, right, and you have the sail, you can't control the wind. However, you can control the sail. The wind is what goes on outside there. So we're in tier 3, those that are in London. And that is something we can't control because Boris in his wisdom has decided that we're in tier 3. That's the way it is, all right? What you can control is how you react to it, just like that sail, all right? Because you can set that sail anywhere you want. So theoretically, no matter how bad it gets, theoretically, once you set that sail correctly, you'll go in the direction you want. So if the wind is like this, okay, and it's really causing a lot of stress and it's hurting you and it's a real problem, if you can move the sail in a particular direction, it will move you away from where the problem is. So you see what I mean? So it's adjusting your sail. So guys, realize you're the only one in control. You're living in your now. Let me give you an example of the now time. The now time is now, it's roughly 20 to 5. That's my now time. All right, I can control this moment. I can do anything. There's a pen here. I can pick this up and wave it around. I'm in control of my now time. All right, but that's all I can control. Getting lost in things I can't control gets me to lose direction and focus. Okay, so living the now is very important. Okay, so that's the I, about investing in yourself, and not just mentally but physically. The R is realizing that you're in control and you must stay in control because that's you. This is where you sit. Next one is O, and it's about organizing yourself. Now, again, I talk a lot about this, and it's Jim Rohn again, because that's a kind of Jim Rohn session going on at the moment. He said, don't start your day until you finish it. And what he talks about is that don't start your day till you finish it. In other words, plan before the day starts. Think of any building, the building you're sitting in at the moment, your house, your flat, wherever you are listening to me, the building you're in, right, was finished before it started. So in other words, the architects got together, planned the building you're in before it actually finished. And he talks about doing that in your life. So in other words, just planning ahead. Now I try to do that. Well, actually I do it every day. I plan so I'm ready for my day tomorrow. It's important to do it that way. Why? Because when you get up in the morning, you're ready, you're focused. Why? Because you've planned the day before. Now, a good example is me planning. I'm into my walking. I've really tried to get into my walking. I'm at 16 stone at the moment. Now, I was at 16.3 before. And I was doing loads of walking. Do you know what I was doing? I was doing my step, yeah? And I was doing 10,000 steps each day. I was eating really well, and I just wasn't losing the weight. And then I remembered a quote by Dr. Wayne Dyer. He said, "For things to change, you must change." And I thought about it, and I thought, do you know what? I've got to change the 10,000. What have I got to do? I've got to increase it, yeah? So I increased it to 20,000, all right? So this month, I've been trying to do 20,000 just for the 5 days, yeah? From Monday to Friday. Listen, it's been a struggle, I'll be honest with you. And I've got like a table here, you might not be able to see it properly, but into my second week, I've got Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, I managed to do the 20,000. Thursday, Friday, it just fell apart because it took up so much of our time. So I said to myself, do you know what? Break it down. I don't try and do the 20,000 all in one hit because I'll be out for hours. I break it up. So at the moment, Friday, today, I know you probably see it, I at 20,000 Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Today, I'm at 10,000 after this session. I'm going out and I'm going to do the remainder of the 10,000. The reason I'm telling you this is that I've planned it. And I realise if I structure it and I plan it and break it into small bits, I'll achieve my goal. And I know I'm going to do it tonight. I'm going to make sure I do the 20,000. So that means 5 days, I've done 20,000 each day. Now that's a lot for me. So a lot of people might be kind of watching and think, well, that's no big deal. You know, I do more than that. But for me, it's great. For weight loss, for health, for my mindset, I realise that I'm in control. Okay, last one is N. N, never give up on you. And it's a nice way to end it, really, isn't it? Because with all of these things, it's about realizing you've got to stick in there. What was it? Winston Churchill said, if you're going through hell, keep going. Don't stop, just keep going. So what I mean by that is really realize it's about you and your value. Now I'm going to show you something that I saw, it was about 10 years ago. And it was just such a visual activity that really kind of honed in on the importance of value. He called someone up the front, and the person that came up the front, he said, what is this? Okay. And the speaker, I think it might have been Nido Cobain. The speaker, the guy that came up the front said, well, it's £20. Yeah, it would have been $20 in that case, okay? At $20, yeah? And he said, yes, that's correct. And he said, are you sure this is $20? And he said, well, yeah, it is, definitely $20. He said, okay. He said, if I was to take this now, scrunch it all up, all right, drop it on the floor, step on it, twist my foot on it, take it up again, scrunch it again, put it back on the floor, step on it, and then open it up, what would it be? Would it still be £20 or $20? And the guy was like confused because he said, well, of course it is. It doesn't make any difference. It's still $20. And when I saw that, like I said, this was many, many moons ago, it made me realize that your value doesn't ever change. You are who you are. And if you believe in yourself, that value stays. And it doesn't matter what someone does to it, what someone says to you, what they say you can do, what they say you can't do, whether they think you're rubbish and you can't do whatever. Listen, the value is always the same. Now, I know that's not an easy thing, especially when you are face to face with people that are negative, or you've been rejected, and we've all been rejected. That I know can be difficult. But I want you to just remember this and your value. And remembering your value doesn't change by what someone says to you, or even what someone does to you. Your value is still the same. Boom. That's iron. Now, what I'm going to say to you now, guys, is that we are at the end of the year, and I want you to start thinking about how the year has affected you, not in a negative way, but what changes have occurred in your life that perhaps have been a positive. And I know that might sound like crazy in the 2020 because it just seemed like such a crazy time, but I think it's about trying to pull out the good from the bad, the challenging times. And I just think that's so important. So I've made like a notes of things I have gained and learned. I've been doing videos. I never thought I would be doing these videos prior to March. I never thought I'd write my own online program, create a website, doing stuff with DJing and working with great people at OSSR and all that kind of stuff. I never thought. However, it happened. So anything can happen, but you must have that belief and that ability to take out those positives when sometimes it seems so difficult to see. I.R.O.N. Guys, quick summarization. Look at invest in yourself. What are you going to do? Do a course. Try a course. A lot of these courses are quite short courses, and most of them, I say majority, 90% are online anyway. Right? Give those a chance. Invest in yourself. Maybe start some like walking regime. Yeah, start doing some walking. Get a Fitbit. Start doing some. Invest in yourself, because I often say your body is the carriage that takes you through life. The next one is to realize you are the only one in control. So of all the challenges you've got, you're in control of all the things you've got. So things or environments where you're just thinking, I just can't take this any longer, you have the ability to step out of that environment. Right? You are in control. And don't ever feel that you're not, because it's very important, you are. Organize your life. Get organized, get planning. As I said, write things down, set your goals, set your targets. Why? Because they give you the focus that often, if you don't have them, you can just be left drifting. And this week, I will say, has been a really challenging week from other bits and pieces going on in my life. And I realized that keeping the focus has really helped me through. And it has with writing things down and with the goals, etc. Last one is N, never give up on yourself. I always say a statement that you are the only one who knows when you're hungry. And the reason I say that is because you're the one that knows you, and no one else knows you. And I think it's so important to just embody that and just keep it being real, because that's who you are. And I think it's so important you don't ever forget that. Remember your value. Right, mentions, what can I say? Orange Online Learning, YouTube. I've got quite a few videos now. That's another thing I created. My own channel. I never thought I was going to do that. Loads of videos on there, learning videos. Guys, press the subscribe button and the notification button. So as these videos come up, what you'll do is have the opportunity to listen to those, make notes, etc. And great lots of learning. If you're interested in coaching, I've had a few inquiries. Please contact me on steve@thespeakup.com, or if you want to see some clients where I've done some work and coaching, go to www.orangeonlinelearning.com. Guys, thank you so much. It's been a massive pleasure. It has been an interesting year. I think we'll all agree on that. But it must be a year, not that we go through that year, but we get from the year. Guys, thank you so much indeed. And have an amazing Christmas. Guys, take care. And I'll see you soon. Cheers. Bye.